Coming to you from the Kahilu Theatre, it's Talk Story Time. And here's your host, Steve Roby. Aloha, and welcome to another episode of Talk Story Time. I'm your host, Steve Roby. We're backstage at the Kahilu Theatre with music educator from Honokaa High School, Grammy Award-winning music educator Gary Washburn. Welcome, Gary.
Oh, thank you. Also, Nahoku nominated twice.
And there's probably more too, right? I mean,
yeah, but those are the ones that represent the jazz band.
Great. Well, it's a pleasure to have you back at the Kahilu Theatre. I know you were here, I believe it was last year. There's kind of a fuzzy period with 2020, 2021. Yeah. But you're back at the Kahilu Theatre with a full band this time, 20, 25 students. Tell me a little bit about the show today.
Well, I think the variety in the show is really something. But every year when I have this, I have to design it around the level of the students, their playing ability, the vocalists, what they're about. And so I was driven to do some Etta James and some Basha, which I've never done. I've done Etta James, but never Basha. And then we're doing some Boss Skaggs, which I've never done, but the guy's voice was in that category, you know? And so that's the way I go about it. And then when I write arrangements, I have to write it for the level of the students, meaning like these freshmen that I was talking about.
Right.
I got to consider their technical level of the instrument. So when I write an arrangement, I know it's going to come out good.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier that there was kind of that gap year of the new freshmen coming in from 8th grade to being a freshman at high school there. And they have to catch up, right?
Yeah, they do.
As being part of the band.
And I'm very, very happy with this band. They have come so far. At the beginning of the year, I was going, maybe it's over. And then I'm just one of these kind of guys that won't give up. And I went, I can make a band out of these. So,
have you got some star players that are going to be on the show today that you'd like to mention?
Yeah. Jed Altura, the tenor player, has come really a long ways. Last year, Nick and Francis, his twin brothers, were involved, and the family is very musical. So I have Jed, who's playing a very special saxophone that was donated to the program, and a very high-class saxophone. And then my lead trumpet player, Julie, who last year played I Remember Clifford, and she's holding it together back there. My bass player, John Alcaran, he plays piano and guitar and drums also, and is very musically educated and very sincere about what he does. New little guitar player, Alex, who is a sophomore, and he's just done a lot of work on his own with his dad, plays slack key, plays lead, rock and roll, jazz. He's really, for his age, he's very...
I heard them doing the sound check. They sounded great.
Yeah.
Beyond the music, what do you think being in a band teaches them that they can carry on, even if they decide not to become musicians? What do you think the lesson they take with them beyond your class?
Self-confidence is a big one, and socializing. Some of them, when they came in, they were going, oh, I don't know, why am I here? And who's going to be my friend? But it was so good to walk back to the green room, and they're all back there laughing and eating and having fun. And I was going, oh, this is great. Usually we get, by this time of the year, which is we have already done maybe 15 concerts. And we haven't done a Honolulu or Outer Island tour.
Right, you used to tour the islands.
Yeah, we haven't had that going on. So this is the first time the band is in public.
Wow. And what a great experience for them. I mean, they got to work with Sam, the stage manager, and Gary, the sound tech, and everything like that. It's just experience that they can't learn just being in the classroom. Right?
Exactly. Exactly. No, this is the real thing, and they trying to get them past being nervous and somewhat shy, and realize that it's all in fun. Music is fun. And you screw up it's jazz.
It's, well, yeah.
You screw up, you got to figure out something
Just
to do
keep
with
playing,
it.
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Just keep going.
Your publicist was telling me that you're working on another CD. Is that right?
Yes, we
Tell
are.
me about it.
Well, the senior core of this band is my recording band. I quit recording the whole band at one time because it was just too difficult to get to record it so you could mix it. So for the last few years I've been using a core band. And this core band, like I say, is seniors. And so they're going to be doing this Music Garden
That's
album.
the title of the album, yeah?
Yeah.
When's
Music
it
Garden.
coming out?
Well, we haven't recorded it yet.
Oh,
We're supposed to
okay.
record it at the beginning of June.
Okay.
So it should be out by the beginning of the school year after we get it through all the hoops.
All right.
And it's, if anybody saw the Johnny Nicholas video that we did a while back, well, that garden behind him is my music garden. And I take old dilapidated instruments and put them in the garden and get plants to work with them and all that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I came up with the idea of the music garden. And Sarah Anderson came and took some pictures there and is putting the cover together and everything. And it's, I thought of the music garden because basically that's what I'm doing. I have all these flowers, all these plants out there that I'm raising to.
Giving them a little fertilizer,
That's
hoping
right.
they'll grow.
That's right. Hoping they'll turn into players.
Is jazz really hard for students their age to learn and pick up on? I mean, we don't really have any jazz stations on the radio. I know you were telling me earlier that you
Charles Husson has one on public radio.
Okay, but I mean, there used to be like a solid jazz station when we were growing up. Turned to, in my case, it was K-jazz, you know, and it would be like, you know, you'd kind of get the feeling of jazz, what jazz is all about.
Right.
You were telling me earlier in the green room there that you gave one of your students, you know, an opportunity to listen to some great jazz for influence or like that. And she picked Etta James.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Out of the whole list, she picked Etta James. And it's, you know, Etta James sings so many styles in herself. And the tune she's singing, A Sunday Kind of Love, is well known, but I don't know how many people have actually heard her sing it. I mean, so many other people have sung it, you know, Ella Fitzgerald and Sarah Vaughan and, you know, on and on.
Yeah.
So she she said Etta James, and I went, oh, okay, that means we're doing it last again. And she said,
that was the standard you guys used to play.
Yeah. So I was excited about that.
Personal question, Gary. I gotta know your secret. What's the secret to your endurance? You just keep going like the Energizer Bunny, man.
I love it, you know. I love working with the students. It always chokes me up a little bit to talk about them. So, but I love working with them. I learn so much from them. The new way of thinking for an old guy, you know, and I, you know, I work, physically do work and keep myself in shape, try to keep my health together.
Yeah.
And so far, so good.
Well, man, from the bottom of my heart, please don't stop what you're doing. You're such a great service to the community.
Oh, thank you.
Last question for you, Gary. Where can people, fans out there, new and old, hear some of this great music that you've recorded? I mean, you've got, what, numbers of CDs out there?
We have 19 CDs out
19 CDs.
right now, and they just go through a season. In other words, I order so many copies, and then when that's all sold out, then that's it. And I think that I'm probably the only one that has a complete set of the 19 CDs, and the one we're doing will be 20.
So they should contact you through the school?
Yeah, they should contact me. I have some older ones, you know, but I can't think of the dates off. I got a call from actually an email from an ex-student that was, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, and asking if I had a copy of the CD that she was on.
You got to get them on Spotify, right?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
people
that's
can
true.
Hear them all the time.
Well, Andre's helping.
Okay.
She's helping.
Cool. Well, have a great show today, Gary. Thank you so much for your time. Well, hopefully we'll see you again next year here.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. This is such a great opportunity for the kids to experience the professional world.
All right, Gary. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Okay. That's it for this episode of Talk Story Time. I'm Steve Roby. We'll see you next time. Thank you.